Mala Room says, the God sent us to the world. He came himself into the world, took the form of a man. He has sealed our eyes and ears there, so that may not see and may not hear. Here he comes in the form of a man and takes out those seals from our eyes and our ears. This is what Christ also said, all the same. I have come to make those who do not see. These are the terms, you see, that can be understood when you are sit at the feet of some practical master. The basic teachings of all has been the same. And when you meet such a master, he never leaves you, here and hereafter. So what do they do? First work, to raise you up from the man body and from all outside. Give you a demonstration of that, how to rise above body conscious, how to open the single eye within you and see the light of God, and you bear testimony to it. So such like, they open your ear to hear the sound, the voice, the music of the spheres, the nada. He opens the seal from your eyes, open your inner eye, single eye, when thy eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light. Now I hope you will follow what I mean to say. In the outside world we need some teacher. We are respectful to them, whatever we learn at their feet, but all these outer subjects relate to the outgoing faculties, mind or intellect. And in a subject which starts, the ABC of which starts when you rise above body consciousness, when the world philosophy ends, their religion starts, re means back, leisure to mind. We do need somebody. Of our own self we cannot rise above body consciousness, can we? Why can't we, I tell you? Because our souls are identified with the outgoing faculties, mind and intellect and the body, that we are identified, we cannot differentiate ourselves. We are under grand delusion. Who can withdraw our attention from outside and from the body below, raise you up, you see I am not the body. Know thyself means, by self-analysis you know you are the driving force of all this faculty of the man body. Then you see the whole self which is controlling you. So such like, this is definition generally given by all masters. They never say I am God. They say we are the messenger. We have been sent by God to guide you back to your home. That's all. If anybody says, what 10th Guru said, if any of you do call me God, you go to hell. You see, that is only to stop this misconception prevailing in the world. Our master used to say, he said, take me as your father, as your mother, elder, as your teacher. You follow my instruction. When you rise above body consciousness, you see something more, you may tell anything else. So this is something which starts when you rise above body consciousness. And Guru Amar Das came to the feet of such a master after 70 long years. He says, I've got great blessing to have a living master. So Guru Ram Das, he says, praise. Anybody would pray. Oh God, make us the slave of the slaves who have become your slave. We are all, you see, slaves of our outgoing faculties, slaves of the mind's ramifications. We are slaves of the outer enjoyments of all those who are attached to us. We are not slaves of God. So he prayed, oh God, lead me to the feet of such a master who is your mouthpiece, and keep me with him till the end of my life. Let my soul depart while at his feet. Naturally, any lover would like to die at the feet of his beloved, is it not? We have been lovers of the world. When we are leaving, we call, where is my son, where is my mother, where is that, where is that? And the man who is the lover of God, he says, oh God, I'm going to my father. This is all masters say. Guru Amar Das says, now I'm going back home. Don't cry. Baba Jam Singh said the same thing. Our master used to sit some months before, well, I'm leaving you. Oh, such like masters, we pray, oh God, give us the feet of such a personality who is the mouthpiece of God. And he says, how long till I should like to die at his feet. This is the very biggest prayer, you see. I mean prayer of of all the praise that we have. And he says, why I have chosen this thing? He says, even the most learned people like Shankar, who first gave out about the, what you say, oneness of God is all God into expression or whatever it is. We are no other than God. Then later on his father gave out the Ramanuj that we are still a cover over that power. We are not that. He also, you see, first he was a preacher like that and ultimately became to a lover of a Rama, God incarnation power. So as I told you yesterday, in the temples, in the mosques, in the churches, there are symbols of light or sound are there. Which is better? They are symbols only to show that such like models, that such like light and sound of God is reverberating within you. And one asks who is the better, and he is better of the two of all these in whom that light is effulgent, is radiating. That is best of all. So these outer things were found just for teaching the people that such like sound is there, such like light is within you, you are the two temples of God. We have respect for outer temples and places of worship as it is meant to direct people to the true temple of God which you are carrying. So long as the practical people were there, they gave a demonstration of that. They saw their own body was the true temple of God with the grace of the Guru. So he is best of all. Now he says Shankar, the most learned man, came out after to worship of man, incarnation. And Narad, who is the, I see the Bhakti Yoga, head of the Bhakti Yoga, like Ramakrishna Paramahansa, he took to the Bhakti Yoga. And last of all, he first worshipped God in the symbol of Mother. Mother enveloped all around, right, left, up, down. There was no place where Mother was not. He came to his Guru. He said, look here, I cannot rise into one unity of God. He took something, whatever was lying, and put him here. Put your attention here. Rise above. Then he had risen into oneness of God. So I tell you, the most learned and the most devoted to God, I mean Bhakti Yoga, and also of all other yogas, they bear testimony, they hanker to come to the feet of somebody who is God-made flesh. One is, fire is burning somewhere, to sit by that, and one is learning how to burn the fire by rubbing. So that is why Maulana Room gave out, if you can find to sit at the feet of a master, not the so-called masters, excuse me, for 1 hour, that will give you an effect, a benefit as you would not be able to derive by sitting 100 years in the outer palaces. So, Guru Ram Das says, why we want to set the feet of a master like that and die at his feet? Because even the most learned people, the most Bhakti Yoga heads and others all crave for what is presence or the guidance or the company of those who were made flesh, direct mouthpieces of God. He says further it is, such like people, those who were made flesh, wherever they laid their feet on, where they resided, they became the places of pilgrimages. Christ lived in Jerusalem. That is the place of pilgrimage for all Christians. Prophet Muhammad was at Mecca. That is the place of pilgrimage of all the Muslims all over the world. Buddha was awakened. In India there is a place there, that place is the place of pilgrimage for all Buddhists. Guru Nanak born somewhere which are called now as Nankana Sahib. He sat on the feet of some tree which became sweet, part of it, the fruit became sweet, that is called as by that place where he sat. So one word made flesh sat in so many places, all places became the places of worship. Which is better of all? Kabir puts question, oh God, I have a doubt in me, tell me, clear that out. Is it the word made better or the places of pilgrimage? You will have to say, the word made flesh, wherever it sits, he is better of all these places of worship. Pilgrimages, because it is due to him that place of pilgrimage came to be. So that is why Guru Ram Das say, I pray, O God, let me sit at the feet of such a word made flesh and die at his feet. Then he says what to do. Just seek. If you hear somebody like that, go and sit at his feet. Don't think of your high position or your wealth or your ego. You just hear somebody like that, go and sit at his feet. See for yourself what you want. Don't go by the propaganda. Simply go and see. These are the things which sometimes stand in our way. You know, there is one saint, Ravidas. Mirabai, a saint, came to his feet and was blessed, was put on the way. The king of the time was called by name Pipa. He heard about it, that Ravidas, who was by profession a cobbler, is a great saint here. So many people had gathered together at his feet and derived benefit. He also wanted to go to his feet, but he considered, I am a king. How can I go to the feet of a cobbler? So the worldly position, sometimes the wealth, sometimes high education stands our way. Oh, I know so much, I have so much, why should I go? One day he could not remain, you see. At the evening time, here you see, at the evening many people go around. In old days, people used to go to the places of worship, sit there, temple, or at home. He ran up, go to the house, went to the house where Ravidas saint was living. He said, Master, I have come. He said, all right, he has not thought of his position and wealth and anything. He has come, all right, I will give him such a thing he will remember forever. You see, he was just washing the skin. He was a cobbler, he said. And the king was afraid of, my lord, what will happen if I am asked to just drink that water which is washing up the skin? You see the phenomena of the, presence of a great master, man forgets everything. He could not refuse. He simply took the water, let it go to the shirt, ran back, oh God, I am saved. I was otherwise spoiled. When he came home, he called for the washerman, and he can wash this cloth. That was some stain of the skin, water of the skin, washing. So the daughter, he asked his daughter to just, with the tongue, clean it off, wash it, and then the shirt was washed. In that there was attention, you see, mind that. Attention works wonders. What is initiation? It's a little attention gives you a boost to rise above body consciousness. Outward expression of the soul is called attention. When attention is diverted, rabated at one place, that works wonder. So, washerman's daughter became to be known as a saint. People began to gather together at our feet. King also came to know about it, that the daughter of my washerman is a saint. People are coming on, let me go to and visit him. He is not a cobbler, she is not a cobbler, you see. Went over there. When he reached there, the daughter of the washerman stood up with hands folded. And the Pipa king told him, look here daughter, I have come to see you as a saint, not as a daughter. You should not have stood. She said, also I have not stood that because you are a king. I am only standing in reverence because whatever I have got, it is through your favor. And she explained what it was, that I just washed the stain on the shirt which you gave us with my tongue. Then he repented and came in. Now the people say, if you hear of such a master, who will not wish to go to such a master? But such masters have been few in the past. Even now they are few, but they are not, world is not without them. There is food for the hungry and water for the thirsty. Demand and supply goes on as a law. If a child was born 5,000 years back, 500 years back, or now, does not nature make arrangement for world in the mother before he is born? Don't you think those who will come in future, they will refuse that consideration? So, masters do live. They never say we are gods. They simply say we are your brothers. We are all brothers and sisters of God. Of course, they say the grace of God, something is working, then all credit goes to Him. So, Guru Ramdas gives, wherever you hear such like master, you go to his feet. Don't think of the worldly position. Don't think of your high position. Don't think of the learning that you have got. To go is better, you see. Saint Augustine said, what is the way back to God? He said, first humility, second humility, and third humility. If you are humble, only will you try to go to somebody. Even if you go there, you are not humble, then whatever tumbler, you see, whatever glass is put under a tumbler of water, only that will be filled. If it's that place above the tumbler, then what you know, that's all right. Keep it to you. Just hear what he says. He might be saying something else. And you understand that, follow it. When you have that thing manifest in you, become humble, truly humble. Any fruit-laden tree, the branch of it laden with fruit, that bends down to the ground. So humility comes up only then. Now the point is, what does he give such a man? We are business-like, you see. Why should you go to such a person? He says, his first work is give a boost to you to rise up above body consciousness. He gives you a rebirth into the beyond. You know what Christ gave out? Except you be born anew, you cannot enter the kingdom of God. And Nicodemus, who was a very learned Jew, had it there. He came up, Lord, how can, we are old ones, how can we re-enter the womb of the mother and be reborn? He said, you are a learned man, everybody respects you. Don't you know that flesh is born of the flesh and spirit of the spirit? Then he said, you must be reborn. This is rebirth called. Among it is called twice born. You see, this is what they give. That's only had at the feet of the Master. Guru Nanak was asked, when did you escape the wheel of life and death, coming and going? He says, by having a rebirth at the feet of my Master. When you become conscious co-worker of divine plan, your ego is gone. If you have not become conscious co-worker of the divine plan, then you are the doer. Whatever you sow, you will have to reap that. Good action will give you good results, bad. The wheel of coming and going will go on. So this is the first thing who raises you from the depth of the poisons of the outgoing faculties above all that, bring you up and open your inner eye to see the light of it. Morarung refers to it as we are all in the prison house of the body. We have forgotten ourselves, how to come out of the body. He says, just break the roof, open the hole into the roof and go up. So in man body, you see, so long as you are working at the level of the outgoing faculties, all impressions are coming within you. If you stop all that, draw your attention from all outside, the outgoing faculty won't work. And just collect all your attention at the seat of the soul in the body, which is at the back of the eyes, then that inner eye will open, single eye, you will see the light of God. You see the voice of God, music of the spheres, which will lead you where, that will lead you where, from where that emanated. The God said, I am one and wish to be many. There was vibration, and vibration results in two things, light and sound. So this is direct way back to God. So, what is done? You see, when you meet a master, he gives you how to rise above body consciousness, how to become conscious co-worker of divine plan, that power is working, it is not you. Then you lose your ego, that Lord of reckoning, of justice, which just gives it what is decisions according to our actions done while a doer. But those who become conscious goers or divine plan, they have not to attend that court of law. You see? So this is, while all your records back are present, when there is nobody to bear the reactions of the past, no ego is left, no doer is left, then who will bear that? So all are washed away. So you are not to attend the court of reckoning after your death. As you sow, so shall you reap. You escape that wheel. Because you become conscious, you are no more doer of the day's. So such like people, you say, what to do? When you want permanent peace and permanent joy, then there is one thing only. Don't, he said, delay a minute. Seek the feet of somebody who is master in that sense. And so when such masters come, what they do? They are all right, here's the way back to God, come up, God will lead you there. He has sent me to carry you out there. He does not say, I am God, he says, I am messenger. Just, you see, there are two kinds of masters who come into the world. Electricity is the same, somewhere it burns, fire, somewhere it gives you eyes clean. There are two different workings of that power, which is called, one is called incarnations of God, the other come of the negative power, you might say, of called time, and the other is incarnations of God. So saints also come to the world, their mission is different, and others also come, their mission is to punish the wicked, to uphold the righteous, and let the world a going. Whereas those who come to take back souls back home, that is to depopulate the world, you see, and bring children home. It is something, I may give you an example. There is a prison house. One man goes there, he takes pity on them, they get good food, he allows, and the prisoners begin to have good food after that. Another man goes there, he sees they've got no clothes. He sanctions some amount, and the prisoner begin to have good clothes. A third man goes over there, he says they have got no ventilated buildings to live in. He sanctions some allotment, made some money, and they begin to have good ventilated house. All three people went over there, they had sympathy for the prisoners. They began to have good food, good clothing, and good buildings to live in. Another man went up. He had the key of the door of the prison. He opened the door. All right, go out each one. Who had more sympathy for those men? So saints are like that. They come to take you back home. So whenever you come under the custody of such a personality, call by any name you like now, he is a man born like us, of course. But the difference is, he has control all his outgoing faculties, he takes work from them as he desires, and we are led away by the outgoing faculties. He rises, he wants, his body is working in the world, but his soul is in tune with God, is the mouthpiece of God. He appears to very much have engaged in worldly affairs, but whenever he wants, he rises above body consciousness and transcendently beyond. So he can work both ways, here and there. To have such a master, living master, is a great blessing. So such like people come up, then the question comes, what is in their hands with which they do all these things? They are word made flesh, mind that. That word has got, as you told, as I submitted to you, to a special light and sound. They come, that's already within us, but our soul is just identified with the world outside. He withdraws all our attention from outside and gives it something to start with, some capital to start with. He not simply says, go on doing it, you will have it. No. A bird in hand is better than two in the bush. He gives you demonstration of that, how to rise above body consciousness. Gives you some capital to start with, of light and sound, by regular practice. They do own, you see, at times Guru Amar Das says, I was sometime like you working the world, under the control of outgoing faculties, but now I have risen above with the grace of God, working through my Guru. So every saint has its past and every sinner future. So there is hope for everybody. Those who got man body, they have got the hereditary right, as I told you, to know God. So in their hand, what nectar they have got, what medicine they have got, by which they raise our soul from all outward enjoyment, gives a higher bliss within, that is to bring you in contact with the world within you. Thy word is lamp unto my feet. Take heed that the light which in you is not darkness. You follow? With that thing, they do like that. So when the Master comes, you know that when Christ sent his disciples to preach outside, he said, what you heard in the ear, tell them from the housetops. These things are now being given out openly at platform. This is the basic teachings of all masters who came, whether in the east or the west. Now we need somebody. If we can rise up our own self, well and good, what more is wanted? But if we cannot, if somebody comes there, that God sends him, your prayer is true, God makes some arrangement to bring us in contact with somewhere where he can have this facility of rising to demonstration of rising above body consciousness, opening inner eye. So they come and proclaim, here's the way. God wants each one of you to come back to his home. And that thing which leads you to your true home is within you already, controlling you in the body. Simply to withdraw your attention from outside and give you contact with that, and which will lead to where, from where it emanates, to absolute Lord. So all outer religions, the labels of which we are carrying, they have these very basic teachings in their scriptures. For want of practical people, we have forgotten. This is what I am putting before you. It is no new thing. It is already given in the books, in the scriptures. I have written one book, Naam or Word, from all scriptures. They simply touch the true living and higher content. Social body, the labels of which you are carrying, remain there, first step. Have true living, and somebody there, if you can have your own self-contact, that power which is within you, when will you know about it? When your attention withdrawn from all outside and from the body below, then your inner eye or single eye will open, you see the name. If you can do have your own self well and good, do it. If not, we cannot do it generally, because we are already identified with the outgoing faculties, intellect, body in the world. They have forgotten ourselves, and all practices what we use for meeting God relate to the outgoing faculties, mind or intellect. How can you rise above? So someone is needed to raise you up, give you a demonstration of it, give you something, some capital to start with, of the light and sound within you, and then dwell further. There the ABC starts. That's not the end all, the be all. We have got many mentions in the house of our Father, macrocosm in the microcosm. This is what we gathered from the masters, you see. And this is what is meant by the word master or guru in the terminology of the saints, not in the sense as we use generally. We have respect for all those at whose feet we have learnt all these subjects which relate to the outgoing faculties or intellect, but we do need somebody who has access into the Vijnana, who can give us a demonstration of that how to rise above body consciousness, and we bear testimony what the Master says, really that is so. The company of such masters is called the true SATSANG. Not those of intellectuals, but those who have been to the Vijnana and gives us something of the Vijnana. In his company we will truly learn what the scriptures say, because they have seen the words of those masters who saw and then gave out, which form part of our scriptures. If you want true interpretation of those, we need somebody who has seen has been there. So yesterday morning you see I gave you what is meditation. Last night I gave you what is called really spirituality. It is not bearing the outer forms and rules or the labels of the religion. It is something to know how to know yourself and to know the yourself which is controlling us in the body by self-analysis and enable you to transcend into beyond and traverse there. That needs somebody to guide you. Call him by any name you like. Today I have given you see what you will learn at their feet. What is really called a master or a guru. And we confound him with the outer forms of the body. Again I would submit, we have respect for all these. At whose feet we have learned something. But this all thing give you science, or the knowledge of the world, which is exotic. And this is where all philosophies and their religion starts. Tomorrow, God wills, I'll give you some insight in the world. What is world? You see? And the glean is given in all scriptures of that. Reference is given to that. And further, this body is the true temple of God, whether it is possible to rise above body conscious and traverse into the beyond, what our scriptures say about it, about them, that will form the subject of tomorrow and day after, God willing. Thank you for your patient hearing. What I have come to know, I have put before you. It is for you for calm concentration, how it appeals to you.